Hi there YouTube friends, Kalos Arisate, and welcome back to Mom's Greek Kitchen, the channel where I teach you my mom's Greek recipes in her memory. Today, we're actually not making one of Mom's recipes. Today we're making one of my recipes. Mom did have a version of this, but she actually preferred mine. So whenever we had a family gathering, party, whatever you want to call it, and she was planning on making like a buffet style, she would ask me to make my restaurant or Greek roasted potatoes. I was a restaurant chef, and this is an adaptation of a recipe from one of the restaurants I worked at. They're wonderful potatoes. They're crispy on top and soft and tender on the bottom, very flavorful and pretty easy to make. So come with me to the kitchen and we'll get started. Alright, for our roast Greek potatoes, I'm doing a large pan here. So I've got about, I have 6 large russet potatoes. I like russets better for this. And like I said, this is a Mom's recipe. This is one of mine. This is from the restaurants, and these are probably the best potatoes I've ever had for this style of potato. So we're going to use the russet potatoes, and we want to cut them so that they are narrow on the bottom and higher through the top to bottom, which allows them to get a nice golden crispy top while the bottoms become nice and what they call fondant, like soft and tender. So the easiest way to do that is to basically just put your peeled potato on your cutting board and cut it through the center, because it's wider this way as opposed to this way, so it doesn't sit up on its edge. It will always fall over. So basically you just cut in the middle, try and get them even, so that when they sit on their cut side, they're narrow and high. And then you just put them in your pan side by side. And I'm just going to do that with all the rest of them. I've got them in cold water so they don't go dark. And it looks like 6 is going to be pretty much perfect, maybe, for this pan. Move them around if you have to so they fit nicely. You want them all in a single layer, and you want them on their cut side. Alright. So let's move you out of the way. So there's our pan of potatoes. So now we're going to season our potatoes. And again, this is a restaurant recipe. So there's a few shortcuts. First things first, we're going to add some olive oil. And you want quite a lot of olive oil. In the restaurant, we would reuse the cooking liquid. It was only used on potatoes, so we would use quite a bit of oil. And instead of throwing that out every time, you just recycled it. Alright, that was a good, you would say that's about a cup, I would say. Alright, and then we need our seasonings. So we are going to start with seasoning salt. You can do basic salt, but the seasoning salt gives it a nice extra flavor and a little extra color. But if you don't like seasoning salt, use basic regular sea salt, whatever you like to use. So you're gonna do a little heavier because we don't turn them over, so you're gonna want to season both sides basically from this side. Next, we want some pepper, and not too much pepper because it stains the potatoes, but you need a little bit. And then we need some garlic powder. Use the granulated garlic. Garlic powder is too fine, and it doesn't really mix in well and all that kind of stuff. So again, a nice good amount of garlic. Oregano. Now again, oregano stains the potatoes, so the owners at the restaurant I worked at only liked a little bit just for the flavor and not too much show. So a little more than that. So I'd say that was about a teaspoon of oregano leaves. Now, one of the secrets. Soup in a cup, or chicken in a mug, or any granulated chicken based powder. You can try beef, but chicken is what we always used. And you actually use quite a bit of it. Yeah, that's good. Gives the potatoes a really good flavor. Lemon juice, as much as or as little as you like. Now, I made this for some people and they want like double the amount of lemon. I want my potatoes to taste like potato with lemon, not lemon with potatoes. So you can do what you like. I'm just putting in maybe, I'd say that maybe maximum of a quarter cup, probably a couple tablespoons. And for something where it's going to go in the oven and bake for a long time, you don't need to use fresh lemon juice. You may if you want to, but you wouldn't know the difference after it's baked. If I was going to make something where like putting lemon on top of a piece of fried fish or something of that sort, of course I would use fresh. But for something like this, it's basically not required. And I have everything in there except water. So now we're going to add water to almost cover the potatoes. That's good enough. All right. So now that our potatoes are seasoned, we're going to give them a nice little massage. So you're going to get your hands in there. You're going to turn the potatoes over. You're going to wash all the spices off of them so that the spices are mixed into the liquid and there is no lumps or, very heavy coatings on any one particular piece of potato. So just get in there. Do it carefully because it's pretty full and you don't want to slosh all over the place. And these are going to go into a 375 preheated oven for about, I think it takes about an hour and a half if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've made them. But basically what you want is for most of the water to be gone. When you squeeze the top of a potato, it will be tender. The tops will go a nice rosy, brown, crispy top. And the bottoms will be nice and tender and soft. So it's sort of the best of both worlds. It pleases everybody. First time you make it, I would recommend you don't go crazy on the lemon juice. But if your family likes more, of course you can add more lemon juice. My potatoes, when I'm doing them at home, pretty much drain all the water. At the restaurant, we used to do bigger pans, and the water was left over, like we'd leave some of the water in the bottom of the pan when they were ready. So it just depends on the temperature of your oven and all that kind of stuff. If you've got liquid left over, you can save it for next time, or use it as a dressing over the potatoes when you serve them. I mean, that's quite a lot of olive oil. You don't really, a lot of it will be absorbed by the potatoes, but it's good stuff and olive oil isn't cheap, so use it if you can. Alright, so I will put them in the oven and I'll bring them back out to show you what they look like when they're done. Alright, see you soon. Alright, and there are our Greek potatoes, roast potatoes, whatever you want to call them, out of the oven. I let them cool down a little bit because they were searing hot and I had other things to do. But as you can see, they have a nice crisp top and they're nice and tender inside. They're soft. They're fondanty, as they say. They're excellent potatoes. So I hope you enjoy them. I hope you try them. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and let your friends know. Alright, until we see you again, have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.